they're learning about the drought in the Colorado River. You will need no physical materials for this. On day 1, they're learning what is the Colorado River and why is it important. On day 2, they're going to learn what causes drought and what is causing drought in the Colorado. And day 3, how can they fix the drought in the Colorado River? And their culminating task will be making a poster to raise awareness about that. Just as Luke mentioned earlier, all day 1 slides for no matter what station you're at will all be in red, this reddish theme, so you'll know kiddos are on day 1 because you see the red. And just like Luke's and Drea's, they're going to be starting with vocab and orienting themselves in the concepts for the day and drag and drop. They'll then label a map using the highlighter tool, finding the Colorado River and circling cities that are dependent upon it. They're going to read a quick passage and annotate where they find at least 2 pieces of evidence that shows the importance of the Colorado. And then they'll watch a video from Vice News and paraphrase 2 facts from it. One thing to note about videos embedded in Seesaw is they kind of just look like pictures. But this is actually a hyperlinked video that they'll click on and it will export for them.
One simple but brilliant.
And then their exit ticket for the day is just writing a reflection on the importance of the Colorado River. Day 2, they start with vocab again, just dragging and dropping. They take a few moments to analyze some charts and graphs. They start off with just true false for each of the graphs, and then they kind of create a hypothesis or synthesizing the data that they see to create a larger understanding of it. They'll listen to a podcast and either write or record 2 facts from the podcast about what is causing the drought in the Colorado. Again, this just looks like a picture, but is a link to the podcast. And what I recommend for your site, kiddos will be watching videos at all 3 stations. So most classrooms have headsets, class sets of headsets. If you're able to acquire those, that might be a great thing to do beforehand. But if not, just kind of establishing that ground rule of we're all going to be watching and listening to things at different times. Just be respectful of everybody around you. After they watch the podcast, they will scroll through a virtual photo gallery that just walks them through the impacts of the drought on the Colorado and how people are dealing with it. And they will reflect on the images and captions that they saw in that photo. For day 3, it's all about them finding solutions for this drought. So they will look at this list of personal steps they can take in their everyday lives to help save the Colorado River and highlight a few things that they can see themselves actually doing. And then they will watch a National Geographic video that shows people making a pledge to protect the Colorado River. So everyday people making everyday moves to protect this river, and they will personally make a pledge here to kind of prepare them for their final task. Their final task is creating a Google Draw poster that talks about the causes of the Colorado River drought and how we can protect it. Just like Luke's, there are 3 scaffolded options for students, a mild, medium, spicy, based on the level of accommodation students need. The mild will have sentence stems and will also have specific kind of pointers of you can find this information, you can find this information on Seesaw slides 6 through 10. Here are some sentence stems to get you started. And then the harder version of this, they would have to find their own images. They'd have to create their own text boxes and basic design features of the poster. And then when they're done, they'll drop the link in the next slide. And if they drop a link and finish a poster, that's incredible. Mm-hmm. If they learn about the Colorado River and get exposed to it, that's incredible as well. So I don't know if you guys had a conversation in your other rooms about grading during this time, but it's really about exposure, about engagement for students. Questions about Station 2? Yeah? Okay. All right. We'll go into Station 3.